Okay, full disclosure here, I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to even make this predictions video. I think the last time I found a post-WrestleMania pay-per-view entertaining was the 1994 King of the Ring, if only for the antics of the late great Owen Hart. And before you start bitching, I'm disqualifying last year's otherwise solid Payback event because of that god-awful House of Horrors match that ranks right up there with the Hell in a Kennel and the hardcore evening gown match for dumbest gimmick match of the last 20 years. And considering how little build-up this event got, with all the hype thrown at the disappointing Greatest Royal Rumble Network event, my expectations for this are sitting somewhere below Triassic period fossils. Of course, whenever the WWE hears people talk about how underwhelming their recent pay-per-view event is, and how this was about as low as the booking team could possibly get, the WWE Universe has given a collective request to hold the creative team's beer. So let's see what turds the WWE plans to shine up to sell as gold nuggets. In no particular order. Daniel Bryan vs. Big Cass. Bryan was given the win in New Orleans, and the Iron Man record at the Greatest Royal Rumble, so he's bound to lose this one. Vince loves big men in the ring, and still can't understand why fans are behind Daniel Bryan, so the choice seems pretty obvious. Cass wins, and with any luck the match is kept short. Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley vs. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I think that Rob was wrong when he said the WWE creative believes that their primary audience is made up of Alzheimer's patients. My theory is the creative is suffering from it, and therefore can't remember that we got this exact same match 2 weeks ago on Raw. Zayn and Owens lost then, and again on the go-home show, so the 50-50 booking dictates the heels sneak out a victory, and possibly turn Lashley against Strowman in an effort to get any crowd reaction whatsoever for the returning Black Wrestler. United States Champion Jeff Hardy vs. Randy Orton. Grand Slam champion defends against the bland Slam champion for a title no one really cares about. Neither man really needs the win, and neither will be really hurt by the loss. So for a match where the stakes are this low, I'll flip a coin and pick Hardy to retain. Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax vs. Alexa Bliss. While the Moment of Bliss PSA promos have been some of the most entertaining parts of Monday Night Raw for the past couple of weeks, Jax needs a successful title defense to avoid becoming the next Sasha Banks. Jax picks up the victory after a Mickie James distraction goes awry, and moves on to a new feud on Raw the next night. Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins vs. The Miz. This is one of two matches that could go either way for different reasons. While on one hand, Rollins retaining opens up far more possibilities for storylines and entertaining IC title matches in the near and medium term, the WWE just enjoys pissing all over its own history by doing everything it can to erase the records held by legends of the business and replace them with ones held by bland stand-ins. If The Miz won, he would tie the record for most title reigns, and would easily break the longest combined title reign held by Pedro Morales. However, I think that Rollins should retain, and go on to beat the single longest reign for an IC champ, because the fact that a wrestling Elvis impersonator still has the single longest reign in WWE history is something you would think the WWE would have corrected by now. SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella vs. Charlotte Flair. Again, you have a match that's at the crossroads of looking back on history, or moving forward with business. If Charlotte wins the title, it will tie her with Trish Stratus for all-time number of title reigns, but it will come at the expense of Carmella's title run being an exceptionally weak one, even more so as a heel champion. Instead, I expect this to end in some form of DQ or count-out finish so Charlotte can win the match but Carmella keeps the belt, and maybe allow the score to be settled at Money in the Bank in June. WWE Champion AJ Styles vs. Shinsuke Nakamura, no disqualification match. Part of us thinking that this would be the perfect time for the debut of Andrade Almas to cost AJ Styles the title and move into a feud with the phenomenal one while Nakamura plays the Psycho King of strong style up and down a SmackDown roster. But that would be something creative that the fans could rally behind, so chances are Styles retains and has a feud with Samoa Joe into SummerSlam. Roman Reigns vs. Samoa Joe. Truth be told, I put off talking about this match because I was hoping that if I ignored it long enough it would just go away. Sadly, this might end up as the main event of the night. Worse still, this might end up as a clean win by Reigns over Samoa Joe as they build Roman up to finally conquer the beast as soon as Money in the Bank after Lesnar surpasses CM Punk's consecutive days as WWE champion. And if you think that there is no way in hell that the WWE would be that daft and do something that fans would almost universally hate, take a moment to stop what you're doing right now. Because if you listen very carefully, you can hear the hold might be a chance from the boardrooms of Titan Towers.